So who are these people? What do they have in common? Do we know? They're all leaders, right? Who are some of these people? Let's point them out. Bottom left-hand side. Our president, right? Bottom left-hand side would be Barack Obama. To the bottom right-hand side, though, Colin Powell. All right? There's good, and there's bad. There's black and white, male and female. All of these leaders have things in common. This evening I'll be talking to you about leaders. Furthermore, in order to introduce leaders to you, we'll be covering 3 different things this evening. The first thing we're going to cover are leadership styles. Then we're going to talk a little bit about common threads that leaders have. And then we're going to talk about leadership traits. Let's continue. Okay, so what are leadership styles? What are the basic leadership styles? Does anybody know? Dictatorship, yeah. Out of those pictures up there, did we not have some dictators? Absolutely. Saddam Hussein, people like that. Yes, ma'am?
Servant style?
Servant style leadership. Were there servant style leaders there? Yeah, there were. But not all of us have heard those terms. So in the leadership world, we break leadership styles really down to 2 basic styles. The first one is autocratic, and that really is that authoritative type of leader that we've all met, right? And there's a purpose for these types of leaders, right? What are some of the purposes? In the military, there's a purpose for an authoritative type of leadership because we have to do things with instant obedience. So it helps to be an autocratic type of leader. Do this, do that, get it done, here, now, when, where, right? Then there's the second style of leadership, and that is participative style leadership. What type of leadership is that? Yeah, it's kind of like the kumbaya stuff. Like you see there, they're all holding hands, right? The decisions are made with a group or the leader listening to everybody and having taken into consideration everybody's thoughts and feelings. We have a participative style of leadership. It's a softer style of leadership, but effective nonetheless. The question I have for you is, what's the best leadership style? Come on, there's got to be one.
Whatever's natural for the leader.
Dr. Dennis O'Grady says, if you're an autocratic style of leader, you need to practice being a participative leader. And if you're a participative leader, you need to practice being an autocratic style leader. So really, there is no best leader. It's situational to a degree. Do you agree?
Yes.
So, understanding leadership styles, then there's got to be common traits. Every leader has things that make them who they are. But there are some commonalities amongst leaders. Let's look at these. First of all, there's passion. When you're a leader, you must have passion about what you're doing. You need to look at those around you and convince in some way, shape, or form your followers that what you're doing and how you're doing it, where you want to go, your vision, it requires their help. And if you don't have passion, this is just not going to happen. Commitment. Do you have to have commitment to be a leader? Let me tell you something, folks. You do have to have commitment, because I'm going to tell you, I committed myself to being the sergeant of arms. And I had been here 2 months, 2 or 3 months, right, or something like that. And I thought, yeah, I'll be a sergeant of arms, because you know how I understood that? I understood that to be someone who got to stand there and just kind of reinforce how things are supposed to be going and so on and so forth. I didn't know you had to drag all that stuff with you. I didn't know you had to put it in the garage and bring it back here. I've taken it off from my house and left it at my home and have to turn around and go 85 miles an hour back home just to get here in time. But I committed myself. A leader's got to have commitment. It's a common thread, isn't it? Every leader should have self-doubt. I think if you are not looking in the mirror, reflective equilibrium, if you're not looking in the mirror and saying, is this right? Did I do the right thing? Am I good enough? You've got to be able to do that as a leader. You've got to be able to answer that question. Let's take a look at some other things too. Some common leadership traits. You know, these are the 14 leadership traits that I was taught as a Marine. Okay? If you notice, they're in an acronym, JJ did tie buckle. Okay? They teach you everything about these acronyms. Now, I'm not going to go over every single one of them because you can look at them and you can see they're all important. But there's one thing that's missing, I believe. It's character. So the Marine Corps got it wrong to a certain extent because what goes on in Okinawa does not stay in Okinawa. And what goes on in Vegas doesn't either. John Wooden even forgot something. John Wooden said, in building this pyramid of success, and this was right before he passed away, God bless him. He said, I forgot one thing, the most important thing. That's love. Before you go to bed tonight, before you verticalize, love. We've covered leadership styles, the common traits that leaders have, the common threads rather, and the traits, the leadership traits that leaders have. Matt and Toastmasters.
Excellent job. Truly leadership in action. And what you say is regards with the time?
Like a minute on the clock so you can...
Oh, a minute on the clock to do evaluations? Or to do, what is?
For us to fill out the little slips here, evaluation slips.
Our best speaker. Our evaluations, tabletop, no, it's this one, sorry. Yeah, I did use the right one, personal evaluation.